Salutations gamers, I'm the OgichiGame, and welcome back to Kingdom. Now we're gonna pick up where we left off, and try to get some more recruits for our army, and farmers, and everything else. Oh yes, my voice, of course. We must venture forth, horse, upon the forest, and encroach upon these encampments. I forgot how to do my voice. Dagnabbit. Hold. I'll remember. Slaves! There we go. That's how I get into character for my king voice. Slaves! Slaves, catch more rabbit for me. Slaves! There we are. Now I'm in character. Hopefully I'll stay in character. Actually, I sound more like Sean Connery. I don't know why. Apparently, you know what? Let's just talk the whole episode like Sean Connery. Alright. I can do that. I'm Sean Connery. I'm 007. Shaken, not stirred, all that business. You know, actually, let's not do that. I have absolutely no idea how to do a Sean Connery impression and just, like, actually have anything useful to say for the entire length of an episode. That would be ridiculous. Although I do have a funny story I want to tell in this episode. So, have you ever seen, like, a 70-year-old man, 60, 70-year-old man? Oh my goodness, all the gold! I can't take all this gold! Have you ever seen, like, a 60, 70-year-old something man act like he was some 5-year-old kid? Have you? Because I did, today, in fact. And it was hilarious. Well, not completely hilarious because, well, it was kind of sad watching it unfold before mine eyes, but it was still kind of funny in the end. So, I have this teacher. I'm not gonna say what his name is, but I have this teacher in school. And I'm in a theater arts class, alright? But let's just get that out of the way. I'm in a theater arts class. Okay, fair enough. He told us, like, 2 months ago, one time, I'm not exaggerating here, he told us 2 months ago, one time, that we were going to be doing this audition at this, like, theater or something. Like, he has a friend of his, like, an old friend, who actually works at some theater. I'm not gonna name the theater either, because, that might give away important details. Important details that I don't want to be revealed later. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just gonna, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm just gonna say there's some theater, okay? He has a friend at some theater where basically he has us, he's gonna have us perform in front of this guy who's like a professional, or quote unquote, I'm doing the air quote things with my fingers, since you can't see me, the quote unquote professional. This professional who is supposed to basically sit there and be like, okay, yeah, you did good, you did bad, you need to brush your teeth. I don't know. You know, that's just all that business. Anyway. Now this is supposed to be a mandatory curriculum thing, right? And now we're not auditioning to be in a play or anything. We're just doing an audition just, you know, for the experience, he says. Just to see what this professional, quote-unquote, would say about it. And they do it every year. And he said it was mandatory, and he told us about it. Oh, dang it, no, don't give me all your gold. I don't need all that. Dang it, guys! We have this... Oh my goodness, all the arrows that just got plowed into that rabbit. So, we have, like, yeah, he told us one time, 2 months ago, they were going to do this audition. Needless to say, every single solitary one of us forgot about it. Every single one. Not a soul remembered. Right? Obviously, it's understandable that we would forget. Okay, completely understandable. But he brought it up because while this is all going on, we're actually working on performing this play. Right? Our theater arts class, we're trying to put on a play for the school. While all this malarkey is going on. Rather, it's not going on. It was just he's talking about it, just blowing crap out of his rear end, you know. But we were supposed to do this. He brought it up after 2 months of saying nothing after that first time he said it, that we were doing it, he brought it up. He was like, so we're auditioning Monday. Now, you guys don't know when the recording day on this is, but the Monday... Okay, so this video comes out Friday, right? Friday, I'm going to be on stage telling my teacher, like, performing for the class and stuff, and my teacher and stuff with a script ahead of time before I ever go to the theater to perform in front of this, again, air quotes, professional guy. And, there's just so much setting up. Okay, I'm losing my place with all the things I'm trying to, like, set up so everyone understands what's going on, and I feel as though I've lost people. But yeah, he just brings it up all of a sudden, out of nowhere, after all this time, because we completely forgot. But he brings it up again. And he's like, okay, guys, so remember though, the important part is that it was a mandatory thing. He said, we are doing this, it's curricular. Right? And to have something prepared. It was like, okay, fine, have something prepared. Okay, we can do that. I suppose, to a degree, we can do that. You know, since you say it's obviously mandatory, then, well, we don't really have any choice but to do it. So, but he brings it up today. He's like, okay, so we're going to be auditioning Monday. Who's going to be auditioning? Stand up. It's like, and no one stood up. Not a soul in the entire room stood up because, well, the thing was, he originally said it was mandatory to begin with, but now he's acting like it's a choice, and nobody wants to go to this thing. No one. I don't want to go. None of the other people want to go, and I don't mind being in plays. I've been in plays, I've performed on stage, obviously every day I'm behind this microphone talking. I don't know why I did that. At least I had plenty of gold. I completely forgot that there was things out there. I don't know how I forgot, but I just did. Thankfully, I am okay. Perfectly fine, actually. Believe it or not. Oh, that's an ogre. Guys, could you... not hit the wall, hit the ogre! You idiots. Bunch of idiots. But yeah, he's acting like it's now like it's a choice, but then when no one stands up, because all of us forgot about it, because we're busy with all the technical and the lines and everything from the play that we have to perform, nobody remembered. Not a soul remembered about this. And then he gets all up in a tizzy. And he gets super upset, like super angry. Because he's like, oh, so I guess I'll just have to call him and tell him that, that it's cancelled, that his valuable time has been wasted and all this crap. It's like, I mean, you said it was mandatory to begin with, and that now he's acting like it's not mandatory, and then he gets all in a tizzy fit, which was funny. I guess in a way, without being there... That's the worst thing to say. Without being... If you gotta be there to understand why it's funny. No, I hate it when people say stupid stuff like that. But, and here I am saying it, but... No, it was just so... stupid. That's the only word to really describe it. It's like, well, I guess I'll have to tell him and cancel and everything. And that's not the dumb part. No, obviously none of us really gave a crap. It's like, fine, go ahead, cancel it. We honestly do not give a flying turd about this whole business. Not a single crap has been given about this whole scenario. We didn't want anything to do with it from the get-go. You're just making us do it. But anyway, that said, though, eventually, I'm just losing myself entirely. I'm sorry. Okay, so after that business, so we were in the cafeteria, working on some technical stuff, the play that we had to do, because obviously you need to do a lot of technical stuff, technical wumbo jumbo business. But then we're like, okay, fine, it's canceled. Good. Fine, great, we don't care, couldn't care less. Great. In fact, we're happy that it's we won't have to worry about that because we're way too busy with, you know, obviously other school stuff outside of school that we do. I do a lot of stuff out of school. I know a lot of my friends do a lot of things outside of school, you know, tons of stuff, and we're already having to worry about this whole play. You know, obviously, we're pretty happy that it's not happening. We're like, great. Fantastic. We don't want anything to do with it. But then he comes to the cafeteria sometime halfway through. He's like, no, what? No, we are putting it on. We are putting it on. It's like, okay, and they just gets on a tizzy about like, we're wasting money. It's like, I mean, we're kind of, I mean, not really. We're not wasting money. I mean, as far as I understand it, he called a guy. He's like, hey, do you have some time off that you could do this thing? He's like, sure, man, of course, here's some days, you can bring them over then, and I'll be there, just let me know if you're coming, and I'll be down there, right? And by telling him later that, oh, well, we're just not gonna go, the guy already said he wasn't doing anything that day, because those were his days off, right? Those were all supposed to be his days off, so he's like, okay, well, technically telling this guy, hey, we're not coming, I would think that he'd be a little bit more happy about it, like, oh, I get my day off then, oh, alright, I don't have to deal with a bunch of stupid idiots. Right, didn't want to deal with any of those idiots. No, he comes in, he's like, he goes up in this whole tizzy about the whole situation. So angry, like, super angry, and I'm trying to remember, there was something about it I had to say. Oh, alright, I remember, I turned to one of my friends, and I told him, actually I told a few people this, I guess. But I remember immediately after he just started to walk out of the room, I just turned to one of my friends, I went, no, sure, it's not like I wanted to go to sleep or anything tonight, you know, because I have to write up the entire thing for tomorrow. I'm recording this video Thursday, yes, and we're gonna go on stage and, like, tell them what we're doing. So I have to write the whole thing tonight, along with all the other things I have to do. But I have to write the whole thing tonight, and get on stage, and go to perform this thing. And I'm obviously none too happy about that. But I still thought it was still kind of funny, the whole bit. The other thing I wanted to talk about, on that front, oh, right, one of the things. If you guys aren't going to participate, why are you even here? I hate it when people say stuff like that. Like, well, if you're not going to participate, why are you even here? There are so many answers to that dumb question as to why someone would be there, but let's just go over this. Okay, so, like, a few of my friends, like, one of them said, like, well, actually, many of them said, well, we're here because we couldn't get into the arts program. And I know nobody's going to know this about well, there's a few of the subscribers I have, well, a good number of my subscribers go to my school, right now, but, oh dear, too much gold, I can't take all this gold! A fair number of my subscribers do go to my school. That said, though, what was I saying? Oh, right, he said, oh, right. If you're not going to participate, why are you even here? A good number of them just said, well, we couldn't get into the arts program. And the thing about the arts program is, it's very tiny. It's probably the smallest room in the entire building. The school I go to couldn't care less about anything but sports. And anybody that knows me personally knows that I couldn't care less about any sport on the planet. Really couldn't. Like, there's a couple that I'm like, it's okay, you know, and there's some that I'd be like, I'll play that, you know, for funsies, but I think, in general, people are obsessive. Most people are obsessive about sports. I think, in general, it's just kind of, a lot of it's more just silliness, how people get all up in a tizzy about a lot of these things, you know, I'm just not I'm not a competitive person. Oh, too much gold, hold the gold. I'm not a competitive person. So, I guess I don't get that competitive spirit that they have in the whole game. But even if I did, I mean, a lot of it is silly, like the scoring systems. Like, recently I saw a video by Grade A Under A talking about scoring systems and things like bowling and tennis, and then he said he's going to make another video talking about the sports that have obsessive fans, and I know exactly the one he's talking about. American football and football. As in, like, like, what the rest of the world calls football, soccer, what, the rest of the world calls football, and then you have American football, which is basically a, like, reinvention of rugby. And a lot of people probably, if there's any sports fans here that really like things like football or something, you know, American football, probably going to be like, it's not rugby, it's just rugby. It's really just, I mean, it's not rugby. I know there's a lot of differences between rugby and American football, but basically it's just a reinvention of rugby. Rugby is a lot more violent, in my opinion. Way more violent. I've seen some things, like those guys, the crap that they do is crazy. Like, see these guys, like, just busted up and bleeding. And then I hear about, like, the American football players who, like, get a sprained thumb and they won't play. It's ridiculous. Them bunch of pansies is all I see out of them. But yeah. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. The school puts every ounce of... Oh, day XXX. Woo! I'll title the episode that. That's funny. Day XXX. Or night XXX, I guess. Oh dear, it's even a little bit more. Even a little more, you know where I'm going. But no, I'm just messing. Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about, though. American football and soccer. Those two. I've seen people, like, just... They're insane. They're really insane. Football fans, either one, American football or the other kind of football, either one of those fans, either one, doesn't matter which, both of them are the biggest nerds on the planet. 100%. 100% the biggest nerds on the planet. They're obsessive. Although I don't really like to call them nerds because I feel as though nerd is has good connotation, or at least in my opinion it has good connotation. The way I see a nerd. I'm a nerd. But they are like, if you're going by the bad meaning of the word, like a bad connotation for the word nerd, then they are the biggest nerds. Horribly, the biggest, most obsessive people on the planet. People, like, get into fights just because somebody said something bad about one of their favorite players. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's really crazy. I really don't know what else to say about it. I have just lost myself in a tangent. I started talking about the class. Oh, right! The whole thing about... I got off on this tangent about sports. I was talking about the arts program. Yeah, the school puts all their money into the sports program, and so there's no money for the arts program. That's where it connected. Yeah, there's no money for the arts program because they put all the money into the sports. Like, all of it, pretty much. Like, there's nothing for anyone else. So, all the money is in the sports program. There's no money in anything else. Oh, right. We're fighting monsters. I should probably be there on the front lines to see it. Anyway, what are you guys doing? Come back in here. Don't you know what day it is? It's XXX. It's horrible. Anyway. Yeah, so there's no money for the arts program, so a lot of people can't get into the arts. They can't get into the class at all. Very few people do. I tried my darndest to get into that class. Like, I even told them, like, I don't care. Whatever it takes to get me in that class, they just couldn't. They're just so few. There's just so few seats for that class. There's just nothing. It's nothing. It's insane. It's insane how small their arts program is. Ridiculously small. So a lot of people either end up going into something like theater or choir or something like that, you know. Because it's like, I wanted to go into the arts. I put it on my thing that I wanted to go into, like, the arts class. And, you know, as a substitute, they decided, oh, well, why don't you go? They either put on, like, choir or theater arts or something like that, because it's like, oh, that's art. It's like, it's not at all the same. Huh? Is that XXX, like, nothing? Is there nothing coming for us? Really? That's amazing. Calmest night ever. Wow. Night XXX. Hold on, let me see what's going on over here. Oh my goodness, day XXX. Survived it. We're golden, we're grand, we're beautiful. How's it going over here? Is everything destroyed? Let's see how bad the damage is. Let's see what the damage is. Oh yeah, so I've gone off on a tangent, didn't really explain anything. That seems to be about what I do. Yeah, I might bring this topic up again with, like, toast or something and actually finish my story for once. I know, I go on horribly long tangents, and then I forget everything that I was talking about. But to conclude it was just ridiculous. It was silliness, it was stupid. It was basically just a very old man acting like a kid, throwing a temper tantrum. Alright, and about that whole participation thing, it's like we're trying to put on a play, and I even went and wrote a play for the theater arts class, that play got canceled twice, and I handled it very graciously after the weeks and weeks and weeks that I spent perfecting that play for us, and it got canceled twice. Ridiculous. Like, he's just ridiculous. Anyway, so I'm gonna end this episode. So, if you like this episode, make sure to hit like on it. Otherwise, I'll see all of you in the next one. Oh boy, people are gonna be so confused. I think I just rambled for like 20 minutes. Just straight ramble. No context. Well, I guess I gave too much. I gave context. I gave too much context. That's why they're so confused. I went all over the place. I went on tangents for days. Dear me.